Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. I'm gonna give some people some time to join. And hi, Michelle. Hi, Brenda. And Anisha, I don't know if you're here yet, but hi again. How's everybody feeling? I know it's been a minute since our last catch up because of the holiday weekend. So let me know if you're here in the chat. Oh, Anisha said, I'm so excited for this. Thank you, Ashley. You and your service are truly a godsend. Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, the work only is really possible because of y'all. Um, and the Black Girl Abroad, hi. Okay, where are you abroad right now? Because I am also abroad right now. And thank you for joining. Hi, Keisha. Understood. Well, perhaps there could be a chance it doesn't have to end. So maybe email our team if you are trying to get it extended and we could talk through options. And the email for that is support@mindright.io. And hi, Diana. Happy afternoon. Okay, nice. Well, I am actually currently in Portugal, so I'm curious what part of the world you're considering. And if your grandchildren tell the grandbabies hi. It looks like people are coming in. Wow, it feels like a long time since the last live, and today I just wanted to talk more. You can never talk more about self-empowerment, especially as women, especially as Black women, when you're living in a world that centers a lot of anti-Blackness, a lot of patriarchy, and we just have to remember at the end of the day, this is our world. So that's what I wanna talk about today. And let's see. So we have DC, Angela from DC. Hi. Yeah, and y'all don't just send us a note and we can work it out because we wanna keep going with y'all too. We have Michelle from Ohio. Hi. Yeah. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be on live today because I have to go run some errands because Sunday is like it should be a day of rest, but I gotta run some errands. But today, again, wanna talk about this is your world, act like it. Because some of us have been put through so much by systems, by people, relationships, work, etc., that we start to lose our power. And then at the end of the day, sometimes we give up our power without knowing. And so, if anything, even if you're on here for 5 seconds, I want the key message to just be a reminder of the power that we have. Yes, and Callie, thank you, Black Girl Abroad. Yes. Okay. So let's get into it. A lot of us, and I've done this in the past as well, we forget that we're the main character of our own story. Are y'all familiar with people talking about main character energy? We need to have main character energy in our lives because sometimes due to trauma, due to disappointments, betrayal, heartbreak, we like in our own story, we become the side characters, and that's not that's not what it should be. Because one thing that we need to remember, and if you whether and some people you may know this already, if you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, then you already know that the creator lives inside us. We are the creators of our lives. And so how can we be the creators of our lives and then still feel like things are happening to us? It doesn't the math is not mathing. So we need to live in that I am the creator of my life. I am the main character. This is my world, and I can write people out of my story. I can get people to exit from my world because this is my life and no one has to live it but me. And so that's something I want us to just like honor and hold with us in everything. Let me check the chat. And y'all let me know if you have any questions and who else is coming in. Okay, Black Girl brought us beyond the message so far. Um, and I think this is really important because again, when we have a lot of things that happen to us, it can feel like, why does this keep happening to me? Why do people keep hurting me? Why do I keep having to go through things? And that is completely valid. And we don't deserve those things. And at the same time, we have to remember our reality is a product of our thoughts, is a product of our beliefs about ourselves and our world, and it's a product of our vision, right? So when we see something, when we interpret something, we are then we are then processing that information, but it's the existing mental models and beliefs in our head that tell us if that's a good thing or a bad thing and tell us what to say about ourselves or other people. So someone could do something foul to me, right? And I could then my thought could be that person's messed up. I don't think they deserve a place at my table or in my life, or maybe I need to set a boundary there. Or I could be like, what's wrong with me that this keeps happening to me again and again? And do you see how those two different thoughts lead you on different journeys and they lead you to look at your life differently? Whereas one route could lead you to say, wow, I am so empowered. I am strong. It's a privilege to be in my energy. It's a privilege to be in my space. And my life is so beautifully sacred. And another can be just feel like life is an ongoing, just repetitive cycle of pain and abuse. But those are all the direction you go is just determined by the thoughts in your head and what you choose to believe, and again, how you choose to create your world. This is your world. And, because regardless of what has happened in your life, we are all literally in this moment today because of all the previous actions and decisions that we've taken in the past. There are so many people. If I listened to other people and given up my power, I wouldn't have started Mindright. I mean, that's number one. I'd probably have some finance, or tech job, doing that, living life, and I would not be here with you. You would not be here talking with me. The support would not exist that has helped thousands of people. But no, no matter what other people said, I chose to found Mindright and stick to my beliefs for how I wanted to create my world and based on what my world wants to look like. Yeah, say it again for the people in the back. This is my world. Yes. And it's not about being egotistical. It's not being about being conceited. It's about the facts. It's about taking ownership of our lives because again, when it's over, people aren't coming with us. It's just us who has to live, who has to feel the emotions, feel the joy and pain that comes with our decisions, experience it in our body. Because remember, our emotions live in the body. The body keeps the score, which is a book I recommend if y'all haven't read that yet. Let me check some of the chat. Yeah. So Brenda's asking, well, how do you change these thoughts? Because these negative thoughts are listen, it can be so strong. It can be incredibly strong, but you're stronger. And what I recommend is when you have those thoughts, and this is an exercise everyone can do. As you go through the day, whether it's like in your phone, on the notes app, or if you're like a pen and paper person, write down the thoughts that you're having. Just write down your thoughts. And then as you write down that thought, write down who you're with or what you're thinking about when you have that thought. And then you'll start to notice some patterns. Maybe when you're always around so-and-so, some of these negative thoughts come up, and that might tell you need to make some decisions about your relationship with so-and-so. Or maybe it's like late at night. And when you start to write down those thoughts, it then becomes an exercise. So when you're going to have a list of thoughts, and then at the end of the day, you can go back and be like, how could I tweak that thought? Instead of saying, like, let's say, I'm never gonna be able to find love. Literally, pen and paper, red line, scratch that out, and reframe. I am deserving of something. Something's coming in for me. Like, just literally change it to what you want on paper. And then over time, it can happen. But because we have been conditioned and have learned so many of these negative mental models about ourselves, sometimes from childhood, it can take a minute. But first, it just starts with being aware about when and where those thoughts are happening so that we can correct it over time. And so let me check. And thank you for that question, Brenda. So Angela still is saying, I've learned to become unbothered. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what you have to be. Mm-hmm. Yep. And God and spirituality can carry you, like Michelle said, because the reality of this is not everyone, like y'all are here because you're doing the work, right? You're doing the inner work. You're trying to become the best version of yourself, right? You're trying to heal intergenerational curses. But everyone is not doing the work. In fact, most people are clocked out. They're not showing up for this work. Okay. And so when we realize that, we understand sometimes it's not even worth fighting because they're not on the job. And so let's see. And Bella says, yeah, that's a great book. The Body Keeps Score. Would you say the thoughts are triggers? So I would say that the people, places, and environments where those thoughts keep showing up are triggers. And it's up to you to make decisions on if you either want to change the way you move in those around those people, places, or environments, or you just need to cut them out. Yeah. And especially this political climate, we have to protect ourselves. And I can tell you, with my work, with Mind Right, trying to get Mind Right. We've tried trying to get Mind Right for years to be reimbursable by health insurance. Being in the rooms of most major health insurance providers and systems in the country, a lot of people there are really good people who believe in this and wanna make sure people have access, especially to culturally responsive support, but overall, a lot of people don't. And that was really hard for me to experience as a founder because I'm going in like so excited to, put Mindred on the table and have it be more accessible through insurance. But um, systems are subject to other systems. So political environments are influencing things like Medicaid and what insurance programs are offering. So yeah. And now let me see. Doing the work is a lot, but please stay the course. Keep going, and everyone, the future will thank you. The future you will thank you for what you're doing. And whether if you have kids now or you wanna have kids in the future, your children will thank you because what you're doing is you're cutting off that pain. I forget who said this, that, intergenerational like, when you heal 7 generations before and after you, I think. And so what you're doing right now is so monumental, but it may feel invisible, but it will be felt for generations on both sides, even if no one says thank you for it today. Holy Spirit does the work, we shield ourselves. Mhm. Mhm. It's hard, but how I felt before. Exactly. It's either staying stuck in a place or taking a risk to see what the other side is like. My One of my biggest questions in my journey was, don't I wanna know how good life can get? Like, don't I wanna know what it's like to be at my very best? Don't I wanna feel that in this lifetime? Aren't I curious? And I am. I'm deeply curious. I deeply desire that, so I will put and continue to put everything into getting myself there. Imagine how much untapped, not just potential, but untapped joy, untapped love, untapped abundance, because we aren't prioritizing our mental health. And so I want you all to get there. It is an everyday decision. Mhm. And Brenda, I mean, and this is why your grandchildren are gonna be benefiting from you because you are able to model this for them. I was like, "Yes, what is feeling good?" Yeah, Someone asked, "What does feeling good often look like?" What a beautiful question, and I'm so excited for you to sit in that feeling and that reality. And and I see more people are joining. As you join, feel free to let us know where you're listening from. Um, but again, for those who just joined, this is your world, act like it. You are the creators of your reality. And it's time to stop giving up our power to people, places, and environments that do not serve us. And we've already talked about how to do this. It's really about number one, recognizing the moments when we are giving up our power. What are the thoughts we're having? Who are we having those thoughts around? And do we need to either reconsider how we're moving in those environments around those people, or make hard, what may feel like difficult decisions and cut those things from our lives? Because as we said, everyone is not doing the work. Some people are clocked out. Y'all are clocked in, y'all are working, and it's not easy. And I think one problem that we have in the media right now is that healing and self-care is so glamorized. Like some people think all you have to do is take a warm bubble bath and like light a candle and you are doing it. But no, like healing is not performative. It can be ugly, it can be painful. It's what happens when the lights go off. And when you're going through this, I think it's important to know that upfront that this is not like an easy, glamorous thing, but it's what gets you to the light on the other side. Let me check the chat. Happy Sunday. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Zania from NYC joining. Miss Missy, welcome back. And now we have Giving God Glory is here. Yes, and we can absolutely still be scared when stepping out on faith. Because at the end of the day, we need to have faith in ourselves. And this goes back to recognizing the divinity that lives in us, like reaching that highest version of ourselves, which is always accessible. We just got to remove the blockers from our lines of sight that prevent us from getting there. Diana, it's not a look, it's a mindset. And that's what it means to be mind right. Get your mind right, right? Sorry, I had to throw that in. KP from Jersey, welcome. And Michelle, yes, let's not give our power to people who don't care. Again, we are the main characters, and you can write people out your story. And I'm not saying like to be petty or invest all this energy in having bad endings with people. We can gracefully shut the door. Sometimes maybe we need to slam it, but we don't need all this commotion. We can just part ways, and it's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep saying this is our world. We make the rules about our world. And actually, if you need some inspiration about this topic, there is a reality show, Mariah Carey. Yes, Mariah Carey had a reality show, and it was called Mariah's World. If you wanna see what it looks like to move through life as the main character of your life and knowing that this is your world, watch Mariah's reality show. It was from a few years ago, but it might give you some inspiration. Um, yes, how good it can get. Exactly. And this, Miss Missy is saying, I truly want to know how good it can get. Yes, I pray you all, if you're not, get curious about how good it can get in your life. Visualize it, imagine it. And the more you visualize something, the more it just becomes part of your day to day. Because it's in the back of your mind, it's present with you, even when you're at work, when you're commuting, when you're doing whatever. It doesn't have to leave you, because again, the a key to this is understanding that a huge part of our world is internal. Okay? Our internal world matters just as much as the outside world, because our internal world dictates what our outside world looks like. And so to start, that internal world again is our thoughts, what we're visualizing on the day-to-day basis, what we're thinking about our future. Let me catch up on the chat. Mhm. Yep, you gotta do it scared. Absolutely. Oh, you are very welcome. I'm glad that this platform feels safe and you are not alone. Even if I wasn't talking to you, you are not alone because we all have support around us, visible and invisible. Amen, Ashe. Yes. Michelle says, yes. Yes, how empowering the thought. And that's really it. Again, this talk is about empowerment and when we realize we have the control, not over other people, but how we choose to let them exist in our world, it makes all of the difference. We have that power, we have that right, and don't let anyone tell you you don't. Don't let friends, family, partner, who your boss, don't let anyone tell you you don't. And you'll find that when you start living in your power, things bend or they break. And things that aren't meant to be there, they might break. And things that are, but just need to be moved around a bit, you'll be surprised how much they bend to you. When you stand in your power, again, not standing in power in a petty way, in a conceited way, or egotistical way, but standing in simply just existing in your power with grace and love because you know that you're above it. You're above it. Mhm. As ignoring Brenda says as ignoring sometimes some things make you more positive. Well, that's why they say ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. But again, if you this chat does not is this for people who are choosing to do the work, and so that y'all are choosing to not stay in that ignorance, which is great. And let me catch up. Yeah, Bella, yes, it's starting to feeling like yes, abundance can come to you. Mhm. And, Goldmine Cans is late again, LOL. You are not late, you are right on time. Because you know what? It's your world. That's the message today, y'all. It's your world. We were born in perfection. Yes. Yes. One of my favorite things I I love being able to talk to y'all because and MindRight really is creating my company MindRight really was my testimony because when you look at the mental health industry, I for me, there's a lot of things wrong. There's a lot of things that we're not talking about. And even the way that we define mental health, it feels very surface level, very clinical, very fragmented from spirit and self at times. But at the end of the day, for me, healing, and I think someone just mentioned the chat, healing is about healing is about remembering who you are. Healing is a remembering. It's about remembering who you are, okay? Because you already are all those things that you want to be. You already are all those things that you desire, okay? You are you are it. And it's about remembering that because unfortunately life, trauma, bad relationships, insecurities can put on these blockers where we cannot even see ourselves. The problem, the challenge that some of us have is when we look in the mirror, we cannot even see ourselves. So it's about like literally like cleaning up the foggy mirror so that you can remember who you are. That's all that healing is. And when you remember that you already got it, it's easy to embody this is my world energy. And yes. Oh, Brenda, I'm so glad this is helpful. I'm so glad you're here as well. Yes, it's good food for thought. Thank you. Thank you, Moon Sun, for joining. Yeah, a lot of people need this. And, I want to make this message louder. And like y'all can spread this message as well. That's my goal. And then let me see what Angela's saying. Exactly. You won't break. You won't break. You know why? I feel like I'm getting cheesed with you won't break because this is your world. You cannot break. This world is yours. This is your life. Nobody else's. Mhm. Yep, and, I think I talked about this maybe in a previous live, but, like, pain has a purpose, right? There are lessons that we take from it. It can help us evolve, it can help reveal things to us that we may not have seen. It can help us realize when it's time for us to move on from certain things or certain parts of our life. But pain is not meant to take your power. No, that's not what it's meant for. Pain, in my humble opinion, is meant to be a reminder of your power, right? It's meant to something that you go through because the we cannot feel the height of joy. We can feel the most joy depending on how much pain that we've experienced because they're opposites, right? So until we know pain, we cannot know that level of joy because we won't be able to appreciate it sometimes. So there's a purpose to it, but not to be disempowered, not to feel like we're suffering. Mhm. Yep, remembering who we are. Thank you for joining. And y'all, because I mentioned this might be a short live, before y'all go, make sure to like and subscribe if you can, so more people can just be a part of this community that we're growing together. Because and some of you may I know some of you are definitely with Mindright, and some of you may just be following on YouTube and just really connected to this topics, and so I wanna make sure that you all catch these lives because 'cause I'm gonna try to do them unless I'm, like, traveling or something, I wanna do these weekly as a space to just share just, like, weekly messages of support because we are in this together. That is beautiful, Angela. Angela says pain is a remembrance of overcoming. Yes, because we're not put through stuff that we cannot overcome. Mhm. And then Miss Missy working off peeling off. Mhm. Yes. Go ahead, Miss Missy. Yes. We gotta follow our soul, guys. And again, right now, mental health industry in general is like there's a lack of soul and spirit in a lot of different mental health practices and work. And you can't, in my opinion, you cannot have positive, strong mental health unless you're actually acknowledging the soul and spirit side of it. Because this work is about our spirits. Like, when we go through it, we feel that in our spirit, right? We feel that in our bones, and so the solution has to come from doing that work on a soul level as well. Wow, Michelle, that is so kind. Michelle said, "I can hear the peace in your voice." Ashe, ashe. Yeah, it's interesting because this is now my second time going live, and what I appreciate about it, this is also a testament to for those who are doing the work to just elevate their energy, their spirit, their circumstances, like, I feel y'all's energy. We are not like, I don't hear your voices, I don't see you, but I feel the energy. Do y'all feel the energy too, or is it just me? Let me know in the chat. And Miss Missy, this platform is nice, soft launch into the Oh, yes, it's gonna be an amazing week. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good week because y'all are gonna remember who you are. So people in situations are not gonna try you, and if they do, they're gonna learn because this is your world, this is your week, and you have your if you don't have it already, you are building up that inner joy, that abundance, and abundance doesn't necessarily mean that the material things have already come to us. Abundance is something that we can embody right now, whether or not you have money, whether or not you have that relationship you're looking for, you can embody that right now and live in that energy right now, like you got it. and that's when things start coming in, and that's essentially the basis for manifestation, for those who have been working on manifesting things. Okay, yes, moon sun Angela said the energy is real. I'm so glad to hear that, yeah. Well, this is gonna be like I said, I was only gonna be on live I was actually only gonna be on live for, like, 15 minutes. We now hit 30 minutes because I just really appreciate sharing these spaces with you, and honestly, I didn't know fully what I was gonna say today, but I think just the energy is resonating. Mhm. Yeah, we don't hear that. We don't hear this enough, and we have to ask ourselves we don't have to, but we can ask ourselves, "What is the reason for that?" And I think then we can talk I mean, that's a whole whole 'nother conversation on what systems and people benefit from us not staying in our power, but that's a whole 'nother conversation. Yeah. Mhm. Yes. A nice morning word, a weekly word. And I just wanna express my gratitude for all y'all for joining in again, because I know that Sundays can be busy or maybe it's just chill time, but I really appreciate y'all showing up again. Honestly, when I had these lives, I was like, I'm grateful if I got 2 people on this, and so I am honored that y'all are spending your time, and for those who are engaging in Mind Right, always honored that you are having us walk on the journey with you. Angela says, I appreciate you considering us. Well, there is no platform without you. And that's something I wish again, there's really amazing individual practitioners, but unfortunately there are some where in these healthcare, it could be like doctors, it could be nurses, therapists, it can be teachers. We often forget, or it feels like some of these systems forget that they don't exist without the actual person receiving the services. And so I never want y'all to leave an interaction with MindRight not knowing that MindRight is possible because of you, because this is a duality. Even as I'm speaking to you right now, I'm receiving from y'all. I'm receiving right now. And when we I think being honest about that also helps just people stay in their power. Even if you are getting help, you don't know how you're touching the other person who is supposedly helping you. So never be scared to ask for help because you may be doing that person a service. And I'm just catching up on the chat. Yes, butterflies. We are becoming butterflies. And watch some of y'all see some butterflies this week. And you can think about this chat. Mhm. Diane, I'm so glad this was a good session for you. Well, y'all, like I said, I was only planning to be on here for about 15, so I think I'm gonna end this live. I know it's a bit short, but hopefully sweet. Um, but I mean, the way this is going, I think, like I said, I'll keep doing this. I know next week I'm not gonna be able to go live, but I will for those who are in the MindRight community, you'll get a text the next time I do one of these bonus live sessions, and if not, just make sure you, like and subscribe so you get the notifications. And I just wanna thank y'all and have a good week because you deserve it, okay? Like and I'll say the 2 things I've been repeating just to keep with y'all. It's your world, act like it. And if you ever forget that for a moment or a challenge by any moment that happens this week, just remember who you are. Remember who you are. So I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your Sundays, no matter where you are in the world. And I hope to catch you up at the next one. Thank you again for joining. Bye.